The number of friends I have lost to alcohol is unbelievable. It is directly related to their frustrations on the cricket field.
The game of cricket has always had its frustrations, and many cricketers have been affected very deeply by it. However, Chennai cricketers, we have found over the years, have dealt with moving on with a lot of grace.
Yeah, and many of them have even managed to carve a second niche for themselves within the cricket fraternity.
To understand this better, we decided to ask around.
I think we have our conservative upbringing, family support, and other interests.
I think the intelligence marks them. You find cricketers out of Tamil Nadu, they're also something in life. They're good engineers, they become good executives. Academic qualifications are always a priority in the city. So, with that kind of background, even if they played a career for 10 years or so, they still have something to fall back on.
There is a slightly religious side to it also. Many of them are,
Spiritual.
yeah, somewhat.
Okay, so I have become more and more convinced over the years that Chennai is the most civilized big city in this country. The graciousness of the people, the manner in which they just behave, they speak to you, it is manifest in everything. It has the best newspaper in the country, even if by default. It has a multiplex system that does not allow its tickets to go above rupees 120 per ticket, which in turn allows different kinds of movies to be sampled, which can only be good for cinema in general, which is definitely not happening in the rest of the country, and just things like this.
But the multiplex pricing might have more to do with the DVD piracy and the chief ministers being from the film fraternity.
But ultimately the effect on the people is what counts.
We wondered what a few of my co-Chennaites have to say about this.
There is this essence of this city, which is why I'm constantly grappling with it and trying to figure out what it is. It's not so easily quantifiable as a Bombay or a Calcutta, Here it's trickier. It's much more, you always feel like you have to defend it, because everyone's so dismissive of it. I don't know if it's a Tamilian Brahmin thing, or if it's just a South Indian thing, or if it's the city, but there is a level of restraint which I find very attractive, and which I worry deeply that is going to change with this onslaught of consumerism.
People here do not want to get away from themselves. The hustle of progress is all about overcoming the person that you are and becoming somebody else. But in Chennai, I don't think that they want to do that. But they are progressing all the same, doing whatever they need to do in terms of working hard, or doing business, or even hustling. I would say that whatever is growing here is growing in its own time, and whatever is dying in its own time.
And that's why the city also just lets you be. It doesn't impose its pace on you. You are allowed to participate to whatever level you want to.
So I find this a very harmonious way of being in the world today. And this is the reason why, for instance, that the cultural tradition of Chennai has actually flourished and grown.
It's the fine arts capital of the country. We have a festival here which is the world's biggest, that goes on in the month of December to January. That's the world's biggest art festival ever. It's got a lot of civilizational values and the culture, very deep-rooted culture.
There's a great deal of respect here for good things and for age and respect for ability.
And the second thing is that it has thrived in a very democratic way. The kind of elitification of everything. Now that has not happened here. So I find, the place to be congenial to live in.
Most women feel quite confident and assured, and I feel that you also, you're not scared to turn around and yell at someone or smack them, or like you're not afraid. That's very reassuring for me, because I can move around safely and I don't feel that I need to be wary.
Moving around Chennai is one of the toughest things for an outsider to do if he does not know Tamil, because the auto drivers here are the worst in the country.
And I wonder why, being so civilized, the people of Chennai put up with these guys.
So we thought we'll examine this more closely from both sides of the divide.
சீட்டிங் பண்ணுறாங்க வச்சுக்காதீங்க. எனக்கு அங்கே வந்து ரூட்டு மாற்றி விட்டுக்கிறாங்களா, அதனால் நான் சுற்றினோம். அதுதான் ப்ராப்ளம்.
ரேட்டு டே டைமில் டிராஃபிக்ன்றீங்க, நைட் டைமில் சவாரி இல்லை, டிராஃபிக் இல்லைன்றீங்க. அப்போ எப்போ தான் நாங்கள் சரியான ரேட்டுக்கு வருது?
இல்லை, அதுதான் சார் ரீசன் இல்லை. காரணம் ஏதோ இருக்கு நம்மளுக்கு ஆட்டோ அதிகமானதுக்கு அப்புறம் சவாரி ஒன்றும் இல்லை சார். ஓகே பர் ஹெட் பேங்காகவும் 60 ரூபா. அங்கேருந்து வந்து மேக்ஸிமம் 80 ருபீஸ். 140 நான் கொடுக்குறேன். நியாயமான சரி 150 140 நியாயமாக சொல்லுங்கள். ஒரு வண்டி அப்போ தான் நிற்கிறேன். எவ்வளோ சரி எப்படி சொல்கிறீங்க? 150யா? நான் டே டைமில் 60 கொடுப்பேன் 70 கொடுப்பேன். சரி இல்லை தரீங்களா? இல்லை இல்லைங்க.
I think here they're roguish. If you don't speak Tamil and if they get the slightest whiff that you're not from this city, they will rip you off. But at least they'll take you where you want to go.
உங்கள் சொந்த ஆட்டோவா? ஓ இப்போ நீங்கள் ஏன் இதை வச்சுருக்காங்க?
அது கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு கொள்ளாடிக்கிறதுக்காக வச்சுக்கிறோம். நாங்கள் கொள்ளாடிக்கிறதுக்காக வச்சுக்கிறோம்.
இந்த மீட்டர்லாம் தப்பி தவறி கூட யூஸ் பண்ணுறது இல்லைல்ல
சார்? இப்போ மீட்டர்லாம் போட்டால் கட்டிக்கோ. இன்றைக்கி நிறைய டூ வீலர்லாம் ஆகிடுச்சு. இப்போ சவாரி அவ்வளோ ஆகிறதில்ல. எமர்ஜென்சினால ஆட்டுறாங்க.
இது என்ன சார் புது மாதிரி மீட்டராக இருக்குது?
டிஜிட்டல் சார். டிஜிட்டல் மீட்டர், எலக்ட்ரானிக் மீட்டர்.
யாருமே யூஸ் பண்ணுறது இல்லையே. ஏன் பின்ன ரூல் எப்படி இருக்குது?
ரூல் தான் இருக்கும். நம்ம இந்தியாவில் அப்படி தானே ஏட்டோட மட்டும்தானே இருக்கும், நடைமுறைக்கு வராது இல்லையா?
ஸோ இது என்ன பழங்காலத்து மீட்டரா உங்களுக்கு? புது மாதிரி இல்லை?
A couple of students in this college, they did an investigative project. What they found out was that this auto rickshaw industry is taken over by a corrupt nexus of the police and the politicians. Because most of the auto rickshaws are owned by the police. That's one of the reasons why they are lawless. A symptom of a certain systematic corruption that goes on, and therefore obviously it will be anti-people.
அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ண சொல்றீங்க? நாங்கள் பண்ணுறது பண்ணுறோம், நீங்கள் பண்ணுறது பண்ணுங்க. பொதுமக்கள் தவிக்கிட்டோம். நாங்கள் ஏற்பாடு பண்ணி இருக்கிறது இதுதான். ஏறிட்டு போயினாரு.